I got an urgent real-time stock market forecast for you, and this one, it's inconclusive yet. That's why I have time to tell you right now that these things are about to happen, or these things can happen. Let's look at the charts. Okay, it's this. This is what's happening right now. As you can see, we're building a bullish, descending, broadening wedge, a bullish inverse head and shoulders, kind of, sort of. Let me show you. This is the S&P 500 futures, by the way. S&P 500 futures, E-mini futures on CME. So we've got this bullish pattern that's almost complete, almost confirmed, almost done, but not quite. So I misdrew this. I shouldn't have made the third triangle. So this is the actual reality of the situation. We haven't confirmed yet, and we can still bump down. We can still get destroyed right here, because, and I would not be bullish right now. I would not be bullish right now because of the fact that, well, a couple things. Let's just look at the last triangle here. This last triangle, in order for this to be an inverse head and shoulders, what I want to see is a tighter, smaller, faster bullish triangle. So this is, that's okay for a left shoulder. This is too wide for a right shoulder. It's almost as wide as the head. That's not what we want. We want a left shoulder that's like just a little over a half the width of the head. So this is okay. This to this is okay. But this is so wide already that it's almost as big as it's like a two-headed snake. These heads are almost about the same size. So I don't like this particular shape so far. I don't like this price action geometry so far. I don't like this geometry quite yet. Now let's dive in a little deeper and see what we have here. Oh, look at that. We have what so many people love, a fractal. Do you see it? Here it is. Left shoulder head, except this one pumped beyond, because guess what? We actually concluded this. Ta-da! Last second, last minute, we had a right shoulder. Now what this tells me is that this is a descending broadening wedge, same as this is a descending broadening wedge. See this wedge here just kind of shapes this way and then shapes like this. And then this too, this shapes this way and then shapes this way. So it gets broader as we go down. But this actually had three triangles. So left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. But the right shoulder is too tiny now. What we want is a shoulder about this big. So in these cases, how high does it go? It goes about this high. It already went about this high. So what target number one for something like this with a tiny little shoulder is about the size of the shoulder. Doop, poof, it already hit. Not only that, but we're also building, and you see what we're building? Correctamundo, a rising wedge, already with a rejection on top. So if you've got a rising wedge with a rejection on top, and we're slowing down while we're approaching the top line, and this shoulder isn't big enough to show a massive volume of just swooping down and buying that dip. It's a tiny local event with a rising wedge. And even if we complete this, line and hit this red line, the thin red line up here, to complete an inverse head and shoulders, the shoulder's too big. It's too heavy. It's just too massive. So what I would rather see right now, honestly, what I would rather see is this thing dip down to about here, dip down to the base of this rising wedge, because if we did that, guess what we'd form? Use your imagination. If we dip from here to about here, what would we form? You want to see it? Correctamundo. We would have an official, correctly formed, correctly proportioned inverse head and shoulders if we dumped from here to about here on the S&P 500, which would be about 3663. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it here with a marker so that you can screen capture this. So maybe something like this. Zoomed out. screen capture and zoomed way in. Screen capture, something like this is what I would really put a lot of money into longing. Here, right now, as it is, it's hard to long this thing. I'm not saying it won't go up. I'm not saying it won't just go pump straight up. It could, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of downward pressure still. Mainly judging by the fact that it just took way too long to buy this dip. It's like, should we buy the dip? Nah, let's just wait. Let's buy the dip a little bit. Yeah, but I mean, it's a dip. Yeah, it's not a great dip. It could be worse. I don't know. It's just not, it's not like, holy shit, there's a dip, buy it, bam, is what we want. And that's not what's happening. Slow-de-do-de, home-de-ho-de. It's just like the slow arc where we want just something really, really fast and hard. So that's it. Yeah, the verdict right now. So the verdict for stocks and crypto right now is caution. I wouldn't short right now, but also I also wouldn't be in a long right now. If you want to be in a long, hell, maybe just do a small money 10x long or 15x long, and just let it get liquidated. Just let it get liquidated. If anything falls 7 to 10%. That would be your hedge against a massive pump, if you don't want to miss a massive pump. But it just doesn't look like there's a massive pump in the works right now. Well, shouldn't we compare the US stock market with the US dollar and the oils, since we're on the topic? Why, yes, but that's at a totally different channel. In order to see all our channels, go to bitcoin-signals.org. If you go to bitcoin-signals.org, you're going to be able to see all our channels where we might actually find that the US dollar is super bearish. And if the US dollar is bearish, we are going to pump straight through without having any more dips on the S&P 500 because the US dollar is stronger than the stock market. You want to see what the US dollar says? Come to bitcoin-signals.org and you'll see a link to all our channels. Get rich.